So they take this role where Pluto is like leading them to something, and they reach this castle called Castle Oblivion. Okay, it's a castle that basically everything that you do in there you forget. So as soon as they walk into the castle, they forget. They're like, oh, like they start forgetting a whole bunch of things, like, oh, what's my name and this, that, and the other. Not what's my name, but like some of the characters' names they start forgetting and things like that. And the reason why that is because the girl who is Kyrie's nobody, right? She's being manipulated by these people who are also nobodies. There's 13 of them, and they're called the Organization 13. Okay? So again, let's make a quick little reference here. A nobody is basically the husk of a heartless. So you have a person, you have a nobody, and you have your heartless. Okay? So there's 13 people that used to be full people, right? That did the thing to their hearts, and now they're 13 nobodies. Okay? All right, cool. So those people want to get their hearts back. They want to become whole again. They want to become a full person again. The only way to do that is by unlocking Kingdom Hearts, okay? Again, we don't know. We play this game for like so many years, and we don't know what exactly Kingdom Hearts does. At the end of the day, this is what we're told, that they wanted to basically become a whole person and unlock Kingdom Hearts again. Anyways, moving on. The more and more and more that Sora goes through Castle Oblivion, like the more he goes up and up and up, the more he forgets, right? So, Namine is writing like fake memories for him, telling him that he was really looking to rescue her instead of rescuing Kairi. And all of this happens or whatever, you know, and they finally get, and they fight Marluxia, which is the main bad guy for the Organization 13, at least in this world. And basically, Namine gets saved, and she's like, listen, I'm gonna restore your memories, okay? Now, while I restore your memories, you're gonna have to go into sleep, into this pot chamber here. It's like a chamber, looks almost like a rose. So they put Sora in there, right? At the same time, and this is something that is critical that you know, because at the same time, you're talking about Roxas, right? Roxas is basically Sora's nobody, and they're both alive at the same time. When Sora goes to sleep, in the game, 358 out of 2 days, Roxas goes to sleep because he basically is Sora's nobody. Everything that Sora experiences, Roxas experiences, right? So Roxas is a nobody, right? And he is part of the Organization 13. He's one of these 13 people. He's actually the number 13. He's the 13th member, okay? His job in Organization 13 as number 13 is to basically kill Heartless with his Keyblade. The Keyblade is the only tools. There's a reason why I'm saying tools with an S. It's the only tools that can kill Heartless. The more Heartless that you kill, they go into Kingdom Hearts, and eventually when you have enough Heartless kill, it'll open up Kingdom Hearts, okay? So that's why they're using Roxas. Roxas is the only person that could kill Heartless in order to open up Kingdom Hearts, right? By that same token, the number one person happens to be Ansem. If you guys remember, the main bad guy, his name is Ansem. Heartless, remember? Ansem was the Heartless. Well, Ansem's nobody is called Semnis, right? He's the number one. He said, hey, listen, just in case something happens with Roxas where he finds out all of our plans, let's make a plan B. We're going to make a 14th member of Organization 13. We're going to call her Xion, right? So Xion, Axel, which is one of the organization members, and Roxas end up becoming best friends. They end up doing a whole bunch of, missions together and all of that. And Xion ends up being able to use the Keyblade herself. And basically, at the end of the day, you find out that the whole reason why Xion was made was just in case things fell through with Roxas, right? So as Sora is being reawakened again. Riku, if you guys remember, Riku actually finds her Castle Oblivion. And once he finds Castle Oblivion, he goes to try to rescue Sora, to try to get him out of that sleep or whatever it is. He finds out everything that's going on, and he knows that in order for Sora to awaken again, he needs Roxas. He needs Roxas. So he ends up trying to go and beat up Roxas and bring him back to the Organization 13. And bring him back to where Sora is, so that, Sora could come back as himself again, right? So what ends up happening? Riku ends up getting defeated by Roxas, because Roxas is a beast, to say the least, right? So Riku has no choice but to take off his little blindfold and let the darkness consume him. Once the darkness consumes him, he takes on the form of Ansem. He looks like Ansem. And the reason why he looks like Ansem is because obviously he was already consumed by Ansem in the first Kingdom Hearts. So this time, he lets Ansem fully consume him. He looks straight up like Ansem, but that gives him enough power in order to beat up Roxas and basically win over him. He brought him into this world that was made up like a data world, where the Organization 13 couldn't find Roxas anymore, because Organization 13 is still trying to use Roxas, right? And before I forget, actually, let me just put it in here. Xion finds out that she's a puppet, basically, and she finds out that the longer she's alive, the more that she's taken away from Roxas, basically, because Roxas starts to lose himself, and he starts to forget all his memories and everything. And Xion basically ends up tricking him by making him fight her, right? And as they're fighting each other or whatever, he doesn't know who he's fighting. Roxas ends up killing Xion. And sadly enough, it's really, really sad, but he ends up killing her, and he ends up forgetting any memory of her, because that's just the way it works, I guess. So in Kingdom Hearts 2, once you start off in Kingdom Hearts 2, you're extremely confused, because you're like, oh, I'm not Sora now. Like, I'm some character named Roxas. I don't know who he is. But again, I just fill you guys in on exactly who Roxas is, right? So while Roxas is alive, right, he basically ends up in this world that is like almost like a virtual reality world, but it feels very real. And he is there on a summer vacation with three of his best friends, which is Pence, Hainer, and Olette. Right, those three are his best friends, and they're doing like, nice little summer vacation type of things. They wanted to give him like a nice, beautiful type of memory, so that as long as they kept them here, basically, Sora was gonna be able to, gain all his memory back and stuff. So from time to time, you saw Roxas like twitching or like doing and it was just because his memories were coming back to him. So at the end of the day, Roxas finds out that he is also being used by Riku, and this is the original person who is Ansem. Like, he was the original Ansem. The other person named Ansem is somebody named Xehanort. We're gonna get to him in a second. We'll also talk about Birth by Sleep, but yeah, Xehanort. Remember that name, Xehanort, okay? He was the original person who was pretending to be Ansem, alright? So anyways, it's confusing. I told you guys it was going to get confusing. Anyways, the whole thing about Kingdom Hearts 2 is that you basically wake up Sora, right? And you're like, oh, my Roxas is like, oh, my vacation is now over, I have to give myself to Sora. So originally he thought that if he gave his self to Sora, that he was gonna be gone forever. But it's the opposite. Sora has the power to bring him alive, basically. That's one special power that Sora has. So now when they let him know, listen, don't be afraid. You're not gonna lose yourself if you go with Sora. If you go with Sora, you're actually gonna become whole. So go with him. So he goes. He finds Sora in the basement where that pot was. Remember the pot? Yeah. So he finds him there. And basically he ends up waking up Sora. Once he wakes up Sora, Sora starts basically making his way through the worlds and everything again because they fell into darkness again. You find out that the Organization 13 have been manipulating them, well, manipulating Sora in order the same way that they were manipulating Roxas. They want him to kill a whole bunch of Heartless. They even put him in this really messed up situation where he's fighting like 1,000 Heartless. It's crazy. And that's basically what they wanted at the end of the day. They wanted Sora to kill as many Heartless as possible so that he is able to bring Kingdom Hearts back for them. So everything happens, yada yada yada. Sora does end up killing enough Heartless to actually bring Kingdom Hearts into fruition. It also has something to do with this and machine, and I'm not gonna get into that, but basically that machine explodes and it turns Riku back to his normal form, and it ends up completely erasing this disappear, and it brought Kingdom Hearts, like, you know, that heart that you see, it actually brought it, like you saw Kingdom Hearts. So as they're leaving, right, to go to the portal or whatever, to go to Destiny Islands, Semnis actually ends up interrupting Sora and Riku, and they end up having this epic battle. They pa whatever, huge battle, and at the end of that battle, they end up basically beating up Semnis, but Riku ends up getting really hurt, really bad, and they end up in this dark beach, right? That they're kind of lost, right? But they find a message in the bottle, and somehow they make it to Destiny Islands. All right, that's the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. By the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, it showed the events of what happened before Kingdom Hearts 1. And that's something called Birth by Sleep. And that is one of my favorite games. You don't have to know about it, but you kind of do, because it does have a lot to do with characters that you're going to see in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.